Good morning. As the nation tries to come to terms with the horror of the Melbourne car rampage, police say they've now been able to talk to the man accused of ploughing into pedestrians on busy Flinders Street. Straight to Nine's Alexis Daish. Lexi, what has he been able to tell them?
Good morning to you, Mark. Well, we have found out this morning that investigators went to the hospital and they tried to speak to this driver to try and find out his motivation. They heard from him what's been described as utterances, where he said that he had been hearing voices, that he'd been having dreams, and he also attributed yesterday's awful incident here to the mistreatment of Muslims around the world. Now, having said that, police have revealed this morning they do not think this is terror-related. I've been told from sources that last night police did raids at two homes, one in Oak Park, one in Heidelberg. Those homes are linked to the driver. They tell me they didn't find anything in either of those two homes to suggest that this driver's linked to any extremist ideologies or any terror groups, and they've told me that the family members at those homes were also cooperative. Sources have confirmed to me that the driver is indeed a 32-year-old called Sayed Nouri. He is of Afghan descent, but he's an Australian citizen, and he came to Australia in 2004. Now, the Prime Minister spoke not long ago at all. Have a listen to what he said about this horrible situation in Melbourne CBD.
Our thoughts and our prayers are with all of the victims, especially those critically injured. I want to say that this attack, while horrifying, shows the courage and resilience of the people of Melbourne once again. Once again, we saw a courageous response. The off-duty police officer who hauled the driver of the vehicle from the car without any consideration for his own life and his own safety, for the way in which everyday Australians rushed to the aid of those that had been injured, just as they always do. We are a nation that looks after each other.
Mark, we have also got a bit more insight into that driver. He does have a criminal history, but it is minor, I'm told. He has had some minor interactions with police in the past. He's got a history of drug use. He is also on a mental health plan, and yesterday he did have an appointment. He was meant to show up, meant to attend, and he failed to turn up. And obviously we had this awful incident unfolding here about 4:30 or just after. To give you an idea of the scene, this is exactly where it happened. So his SUV came along here, went onto the tram tracks and crashed into that tram stop right there. But as you can see, you know, less than 24 hours later, it's business as usual. It's quite bizarre. You've got traffic flowing, you've got people doing Christmas shopping on their lunch breaks, going to get food. The one obvious difference is police. There are uniformed members here standing on the corners. We've got very senior officers as well, assistant commissioners, that sort of thing here, talking to the public as well. I've also come across detectives who are hunting for CCTV footage all along Flinders Street. Now, in terms of that suspect, I've spoken with some detectives. They tell me that they plan on formally interviewing the driver later on today, and from there presumably there will be charges laid against that driver later on this evening. Obviously we'll bring you any more information that we get as it comes to hand.